But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, from the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 51 back in 2017, we are inside NRG Stadium. Our hometown guys, they're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with Cam Newton and the Carolina. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
A first carry for Christian McCaffrey, who made his first Pro Bowl last year. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. A shotgun snap for Newton. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
That he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood what the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Texans offense heading out, and it's Deshaun Watson leading the way, the 3rd-year man out of Clemson. Last year, 26 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, but the big number for the Texans, he was sacked a league-high 62 times. They'll try to do better in this one. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Lamar Miller. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Miller. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
I have no idea where they're putting in the food in the Martin household, but they've developed 2 terrific offensive linemen. Brother Zach, a perennial all-pro at guard with the Dallas Cowboys, but Nick, no slouch at center for the Houston Texans. He sets the tone for their offensive line. He's the pivot up front.
19, 54. Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball. 54 is Mike, 54 is Mike. Check, check, watch 54, watch 54.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Against the pass, they're hoping to trend in the opposite direction, because right now they're ranked number 26 in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. And that will be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
23 yards on the play.
Yeah, Greg Olsen's back for his 13th NFL season. The last 9 have been in a Panthers uniform. Only 9 games for him a year ago, 7 the season before due to injuries. But when healthy, a 1,000-yard receiver in 2014, 15, and 16.
A look at the numbers from last week for Olsen. 4 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown.
And they've gone to him early in this one. I sense a theme, one that I expect to continue throughout this contest.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Back to the ground on first, it's McCaffrey. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4. And the offensive starters for the Panthers.
And what a workhorse is Christian McCaffrey, the running back for the Carolina Panthers, who led his team in rushing and receiving yardage in 2018 and was also the team's leading scorer. How about this? Set an NFL record for catches for a running back with 107. So for an encore, He just wants to get his team back to the playoffs in 2019.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Newton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. On the defensive side here, the starters for the Texans. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Newton. And to the tight end Olsen, right side. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their background. They're all county, all state, and other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 27. This is Deontay Foreman, a man who missed nearly all of 2018. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the... edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Watson hands this to Foreman. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. After the run by Foreman, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Foreman. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Watson on 3rd down. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans are in for 6.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
So the drive there took 6 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. A reminder coming up tonight, a tough ticket in New Orleans. The Cowboys in town to take on the Saints on Sunday Night Football. Then tomorrow night, Charles and I, we go to Pittsburgh. Bengals and Steelers, two teams, well, they don't like each other very much. That's well documented. That starts at 8:15 Eastern as we close out the month of September. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
Ready? 180? Right here, 41 Mike. Okay, double. Patch it. Ready?
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now the Auburn alum, Artis Payne. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
Now Newton. And that is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And the gamble fails. It's incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And this Texans defense stands tall. And a look now at Lamar Miller. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now following the interception, here's Newton. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Benardrick McKinney. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? But wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
And we focus on Lamar Miller as he heads back out there and gets set to go again on offense. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Let's go, D! Let's go!
Throwing again is Watson, rolling to his right, and avoids the contact by sliding. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. Watson now to throw. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. That's Luke Kuechly with a sack. Well, the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
54 Mike. Pick it up. Give me 4.
The final shot before the break. Watson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Get ready. Get ready.
And now out comes Houston. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. A carry for Foreman, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. First carry here for Taiwan Jones. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 17 on a pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the 2nd half.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Here we go. Motion.
Again, it's Foreman. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
Let's get this. Hey, 31. Mike, check.
Now a first down throw. Watson. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Get out the field, defense. Check nickel. Motion.
Here's Foreman. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Hey, 31! Mike's 59! Hey!
On 2nd down now, it's Jones. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller His second touchdown on the season, and the Texans will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice two-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. On third down, Newton. And that is incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn, you don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. To throw is Watson. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. They turn to the fullback, Gillespie. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. Back now here on EA Sports. As we've got the final quarter upon us, we get ready to start the fourth. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing again on 2nd down. Newton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Now a shotgun handoff to Scarlett. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Here's Newton. Over the middle to Smith. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And that one, an absolute backbreaker. A chance to get back within a score, couldn't do it.
Yeah, that one went begging, as they say, right? There's the opportunity, and it was missed. But all hope's not lost just yet. But, boy, getting back within one score would have been a powerful motivator for their defense to take the field with.
They'll start the drive with a give to Foreman. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Set. 19. Here it comes. Here it comes. 24. Shine them, go.
Now on second and 16. Watson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football.
Watson's pass complete to DeAndre Hopkins.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, when you throw that flag, it's probably a pretty tense moment. Here it pays off.
Yeah, you have that little bit of indecision. You throw it where you feel like you're...
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
Hey, 1-7, 1-7. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. I'm on set. Hey, 24. Give me that one.
Now a first down carry by Jones. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Foreman. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Panthers. Through an opening, and there he goes. He's at the 30, past the 20, and hold everything here. This one is not over yet. They return it for the touchdown.
They continue to fight, don't they?
This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
So certainly some importance to this one now. After the touchdown, they could get this down to a field goal with a 2-point conversion. Following the fumble recovery, Newton to the end zone, but it's incomplete. They had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that 2-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point, but after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for 2 and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3-and-out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
Now a toss play. This is Foreman. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
All right, just go ahead and say it with me. That was a
mistake, for sure.
Without a doubt, because at some point, put your foot in the ground, get upfield, and get down, protecting the ball. Don't go out of bounds, because when you go out of bounds, you're really just helping the defense.
Yeah, not to be too hyperbolic, but it's like giving the D an extra timeout, isn't it?
It certainly is. Gives them a chance to regroup, and it means you have to snap the ball an additional time, which always means the possibility of a mistake.
The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he'll give it here to his running back. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go on 4th. Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play.
Who that? Who that? Right there. 54, right there, right there. Hustle. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. And watch that. And watch the ball.
Down to a knee goes Watson, and that should just about do it for this ball game.
A loss of a yard. It's now 3rd and 13.
I know he ain't got it.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple, although I set you up by saying game balls, plural. But
I like where we're going with this, though. You say one to represent, like the best player of all of that. And I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So for the Texans, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brett.
The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 vision.